For centuries, powerful men have hunted on Cannock Chase in Staffordshire. But during the 80s and 90s, this woman says that she was the one repeatedly preyed upon.
It was night time, mainly. But I think it was more the time of year when it was still light.
From the age of 6, Esther says she was brought here to be sexually abused by groups of men.
I don't really see her as me. Sometimes I don't like her.
Because you know what she was going through?
Yeah.
And having to put up with?
Yeah, she just seems, I don't know, weak. I was brought up in a religious household. And one thing that kept me so sure that what they were doing was right was that there were references to people. Lord and Judge. I thought that one of them must be God, because it was our Lord, our Lord.
Right, and you just associated that with religious life at home? And
I just thought that they were on God's authority.
The involvement of the police is something that I know that you want to talk about. When do you remember police officers being part of that equation?
I got the feeling very much that they were protecting somebody, that they were with one of the men, but I don't know.
How did you know they were police officers?
One of them I knew from church. There were a few occasions where they'd be in uniform. And I kind of knew. I learnt that when they were in uniform, that it was going to be a rough night.
Why did that mean that it would be a rough night?
I think the man that they were with, he was always, whatever he said went. Some of them just stood there. On occasion, they would sort of join in. There's one that I can remember. One of the nights I tried to run away and tried to get away from them, and he came after me, caught up with me. And he was carrying me back to where the rest of them were. And he said he was sorry.
Because he knew what was happening was wrong. But even though he did that, he was taking you back to where the abuse was happening.
Yeah.
So do you think those police officers were under pressure or being told what to do?
Yeah.
And how many, a long time ago, but how many police officers or different police officers do you think you would have encountered in those situations?
I suppose over the years, there must have been 6 or 7 different. Maybe more. I know the one that brought me back, that was the only time I ever saw him.
And the instances when police officers were involved, explain to me where the abuse was happening.
Mainly with the police. It would be in the woods.
We've come back to Cannock Chase today because this is one of the areas where you were taken. Would it have involved police officers guarding, as you say, protecting somewhere here on Cannock Chase?
Yeah, I believe so.
And why are you so sure that it was here?
Do you know, I don't know. I think whenever I hear it mentioned, it's just that fear. I don't know.
How do you feel today being back here?
I'm scared. I think it's taking me back because the sounds are the same.
To the birds in the trees and...
Yeah.
There's no doubt in your mind that the police officers who were here knew what was going on?
Yeah. They were right there.
What would you say to those police officers now?
I'd say that I'd say to the one that was sorry, that he knows who these people were and why they were there, and I need them to fill in the gaps that I just don't know. I need people that were adults then, but they couldn't stop it for whatever reason. It's time for them to stop it now.
In a series of recent police interviews, Esther has given far more details and the name of a politician.
And this man was part of it for over 4 years. I know every part of that face. He was one of the, I'd say one of the core members. He was there quite often. I was one of his favourites.
That man is not from Staffordshire, but is from the current political era.
I used to play the piano. And he was quite taken with that.
I am Esther Baker. I am age 11 and I'm going to play for you Allegro in E.
Where would you have played the piano together?
It was in one of the houses. I would sit on his lap and he'd want me to play for him.
The police are now assessing her allegations.
I think I've decided to come out and talk about it as me. Because I know there are other people out there, and I know that they're terrified to come forward. You know, I know what they were told, and I know what threats were made, and I know why they're scared. So the only way I can protect myself is to now to tell. And to hope that others will do the same. That's the only way we're going to be safe.
Esther initially believed that the big National Child Abuse Inquiry would be her opportunity to confront her past.
The inquiry is getting underway. It could take years to go through story after story after story accounts from people like yourself, from many, many other people. What do you make of the whole process at this stage?
At this stage, now, I don't trust the inquiry. When I first went into it, I did. I put all my trust in it, really. And I don't think they understand how fake it feels now. It feels stage managed. And it feels like a game. It feels like they're playing a game with survivors now. That's what it feels like to me.
So Esther has placed her trust in the police to now investigate.
And D minor.
The very institution that she says was part of her tormented childhood.
Thank you for listening.
Tom Parmenter, Sky News, Staffordshire.